Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Is It Wrong? And today, guys, I have a special guest with me today. It's someone that some of you may know now, and some of them are going to get to know. This guy grew up listening to music, wasn't really a fan of who he's with now, but Danny's passion for music has taken him from a fan to actually walking on stage with one of the biggest bands known. And this is Daniel Laverde, and he is the drummer for Jeff Tate from Queensrÿche. How you doing, Daniel?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good, brother. Good. Do you like to be called Daniel or Danny or hey you? Or what?
I mean, Jew's cool. I mean, I usually go by Danny now, so I guess that, yeah.
What'd you go by before, Daniel?
Yeah, I had friends that called me Dan, but I always felt like a senior citizen being called Dan, or like I have like 7 kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't have a kid.
I was going to say you have 7 kids.
No, I don't. I don't. But if my name was Dan, I would. So yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
Let me silence this thing over here. I should have done that already. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm a slacker, man. You think I'd have it down by now, right?
How dare you? How dare you, Ray?
I know, right? I hear you, bro. I hear you. Hey, so it's funny how all this came about is I'm really good friends with Jim Laverde, who is not your dad.
He is not my dad. He is not my dad now.
Who is my daddy and what does he do?
Yeah, and for those of you, most of you that watch my podcast already know Jim Laverde was the bass player for Barren Cross.
Yep.
And just a great all-around guy, man, you know, but him and I were talking one day. Nice. And we had just got done playing with Queensrÿche.
Oh, wow.
Band. Yeah, with Sacred Warrior. And
nice.
He reached out to me to ask me how it was and stuff. I said, it was good and everything. He goes, hey, you know, my girlfriend's son is a drummer for Jeff Tate. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, man. I was like, okay. Yeah. I said, well, tell me about him. And he told me a little bit about you. And here we are today, man. And I'm excited to do this with you, man.
I'm curious, what did he say about me? Is it like good things, or cause like I've told him secrets nobody should know ever? Like, you know, like what did he tell you?
Well,
like,
I don't know if I should say it on here, but I'm going to say it anyways. No, no, actually, Jim, that guy never. I don't think I have ever heard him talk smack about anybody or give any in-depth secrets that he shouldn't.
He is one of the nicest people I have ever met, and I'm not just saying that because he's been a part of my family's life for a little bit now. But yeah. He is genuinely one of the nicest people I've ever met, and also a fantastic bassist too.
Yeah,
he's a monster. I mean, his reputation alone speaks for itself, because he used to do like clinic videos and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. He was back in the day.
Dude, speaking of videos, I watched this video of you. I'm like, I got to check out what this dude's all about. Before you were with Jeff Tate.
Oh, yeah?
And you did a cover of, what song was that? I wrote it down. I don't remember. But, see, I should have been a little more prepared. But
no, you're fine.
You did a cover song of, who's the guy that does 24 Karat?
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Yeah, it was Finesse. It was the Cardi B and Bruno Mars collab song. Yeah,
dude, I'm watching that video and I'm like, cool. Man. And then there's a part where there was a break and you're like, you sang into the camera. I was like, that guy is cool, man.
Thank you.
Have you always been into that kind of music, or tell us a little bit about your career?
Yeah, so the music that I kind of grew up with. So on my mom's side, one of my first memories was listening to the Black Album from Metallica in the car, and the first GNR record. But on my dad's side, that was like Outkast and stuff, and a lot of hip hop and pop music. And so it was like a lot of that and Afro-Cuban. So that's where I kind of get my love from artists like Bruno Mars and stuff, and that kind of R&B and pop scene.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that came from. Yeah.
Excuse me. No, that's great stuff right there, man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for me, actually, for most of my listeners, music is an avenue, right? Whether it be jazz or metal or rock, it's something that puts you in this state of just, you know what I mean? If you get confused about something, you go listen to music. If you're bummed out, you go listen to music. If you're with your girl, you listen to music. You know what I mean?
It's like therapy 24/7.
Yeah,
You
man,
know,
it really is.
any mood that you're in. I mean, there's, especially if you have like a wide palette like me,
Mhm.
there's something for every mood and every feeling. That it's rare that I never really want to listen to music. It's rare. I'm usually listening to it most of the day.
You know, it's funny. I'm exactly like you, bro.
Yeah.
All day long, all day long.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
usually metal. I love metal. You know, 80s metal,
Nice.
new metal. Right
Nice.
now, I'm like really jonesing on Fire. What's her name? Dude, I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old. But the girl from Spirit Box, I can't remember her name.
Oh yeah, no, I know who you're talking about. I forget her name, but I know who Spirit Box is. Spirit Box is really cool.
Dude.
Yeah.
Her voice is so angelic, and then she gets into that. I just love that, man.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, man. Her and I love Ginger. You ever heard of Ginger?
Ginger. Oh my God. When I first heard of Ginger, there wasn't like I showed all my friend groups, all of my family Ginger. There's a live video of them playing at some festival, I think in like Russia or Ukraine. And it's the first video I ever saw of like them performing live and who they were. And, you know, Tatiana, she's like one of my favorite singers of all time.
Oh yeah.
Super petite girl. Like I think like 5'3" or 5'4" and stuff. But then when you hear her voice, she is so monstrous. Like she's got like one of the most monstrous like growls and screaming vocals I've ever heard out of anybody.
She does,
male or female. She sounds like a threat.
Yeah, and it's solid. It's not all throat. You can actually hear the words and make out what she's saying. I love that, man.
Yeah, her technique is immaculate because like she goes like right into from screaming to regular like vocals, and it's effortless. You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, so I just noticed something. You know, I'm a little jealous right now. That charm you're wearing, like, is that a Queensrÿche charm?
It is. It's actually a Tri-Rike thing that one of our fans made for me. And stuff. Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. Or a fan had one of her friends make it for me and stuff because she makes a lot of handmade jewelry like this. But it was I forget what I don't remember what her little company was called. I don't know if she ever mentioned it to me, but it was a super beautiful piece of work.
Yeah, that is really cool, man.
As soon as I find out what it is again, I'd have to send it to you.
Yeah, let me know. I'd love to have one of those, man.
Yeah,
it's really cool. I'm really into hats. I get all kinds of hats.
Yeah.
But so how did this whole thing come about that you hooked up with Geoff Tate's band, and what was the key for you meeting with the guys and getting in with them?
So I had a friend in Cincinnati. Shout out to actually Dave Moody from Cincinnati. Him and I have been friends for years. Well, he was also good buddies with one of the guitarists in Jeff Tate's group at the same time. A guy named Scott Mutton.
Yeah,
he had moved to Cincinnati, so I met Scott through Dave, and we started playing together in bars and stuff. And over time, one thing kind of led to another. I was touring with another group at the time, an artist from Dayton named Mick Blankenship. And so he had seen me play with him a few times in bigger venues. And I did some session work with Scott. And then again, just one thing after another, just kind of kept meeting him, working with him, playing with him. And then January of 2020, he put my name in the hat. Yeah.
Yeah, that was on the Rage for Order tour, right?
Rage for Order, and Empire, yeah.
Oh, you guys did both.
We did a dual record show, yeah.
You're talking what, 3 hours of music?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah, with encores, yeah.
Yeah, with encore. Let me ask you this. How was it like the first time you walked on stage with these guys? Rush or was it?
Oh, it was nerve-wracking. Because when I had met up with the guys in Seattle, it was a very last minute thing. There's some health issues that some of their other drummers had, so they were trying to scramble to find somebody. And so when Scott threw my name in the hat, I flew out literally from my house to Seattle within a 5-hour period.
Oh man.
And I had a week to learn all of the material. I had hardly heard it, so I had a week to learn it. Dude, Ray, I'm not even kidding. We also had to do live rehearsals in front of fans because they were entertaining fans throughout that week as well. And so I had a week to learn the stuff, and on the 8th day we flew out to Sweden for our first show. And I did a 3 or 4 week tour with them in Scandinavia.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be, like you said, really nerve-wracking. I remember my first show, or one of our first shows, we opened up for the Guess Who. I don't know if you even know who that is, but
Guess Who, okay.
This was years ago, man, and it was pretty much like our first big show, and I'm getting ready to walk on stage, and I'm the lead vocalist, so I'm like, I was freaking out, right?
Yeah.
And now at my age, the thing I struggle with now is, and I think I heard Jeff say this once, remembering all the lyrics to all the songs after all these years.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
Because I've always wondered about that with singers. I always wondered if it was like the same process of like learning notes and muscle memory with like guitar and drums, but like with vocals, if it was like that, or if it was a completely different like mind thing, like mental bandwidth thing. Yeah, because you're having to memorize, words.
Yeah, and it's weird. I think I speak for myself, and I probably speak for many vocalists, probably Jeff included. If you remember the first 2 words of every line, you got it. Because sometimes
that's interesting.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll tend to want to go backwards. Do you know who Rob Rock is?
Rob Rock is? I don't believe
from
I do.
Impellitteri. You ever heard of the band Impellitteri?
I don't believe so. No.
All right. Anyways, they're another huge band. He's a real good friend of mine, and he was telling me one time we were having this conversation, and he asked me. He said, "Ray, do you ever struggle to remember the lyrics?" I said, "Yeah, doesn't everybody?" And he said, "Dude, if you were to stand on stage with me," he goes, "I have the first 2 lines of so many songs pasted all over the stage because I see that and I know the song, and it's so crazy. You forget. So is there any tickers like for drums? How do you remember all this stuff? Is there little signals or you just got it, man? You just got to have it."
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's just muscle memory, and kind of when you're learning the music, especially in a short span of time, it is kind of just sheer will and repetition. Yeah. A great thing that I did, I started doing years ago was looking back at videos of me playing, and especially, when I wasn't super familiar with the music and I wasn't super relaxed yet and stuff, and I'm just still kind of focusing on other things, just sometimes just to get through the song. I would look back at videos and pick up on things I didn't recognize in the moment during showtime. I'm like, and then I'll make notes. Then I'll make notes of that too. So that stuff always helps as well.
So were you recording all your shows and watching the actual show videos?
I would actually I would sometimes do that, but most of the time I was just looking up videos on YouTube that fans took.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, so it's like, oh, okay, I can do that. That's like easier.
Hey, those could be your best friend or your worst enemy, right?
Exactly.
Like you got a guy who's standing by a speaker and a guitar player, and all you hear is the guitar. So listen, as a young guy, I wrote this down. As a young guy, what are you learning from a seasoned veteran like Jeff? I mean, I know he's a real intense guy. Does he bring anything to the table as far as your musicianship? Does he say, "Hey, look, you're doing this great, but maybe try this," or is he kind of mentoring you a little bit?
Always. I mean, yeah. I mean, Jeff has been playing for what? He's 40, 50 plus years and stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody recognizes. Most people would recognize him as a singing goat, at least, if not top 3. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that he brings is just standard. Bring a standard. There's a certain level that you should be performing at,
right,
with this kind of music. And it's not even that the music, because the music is like hard. Like it is hard, but because everybody was so consistent with their parts when they wrote it and when they performed it live, especially in the 80s and 90s, all those parts are super recognizable. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so we have to make sure we're super consistent with that stuff.
Absolutely.
And so we're always, so I mean, yeah, I mean, so he's, I mean, and we're always all doing that with each other too. But with Jeff specifically, I mean, yeah, he brings the one thing that always sticks out in my mind is that you have to be at a certain standard.
Last but not least, laying it down every night. Danny sings to Daniel Laverde on the drum.
Yeah, and I've noticed it's with that being said, it's not as much as only knowing the parts. It's being that guy, that drummer that people are going, yeah, man,
Yeah.
performing. Because
Yeah.
anyone can learn the music, but you got to be performing because Jeff's a performer. you
Yeah.
know? And I've seen a lot of his stuff recently. He's not doing as much as he used to, but he's Geoff Tate. You know what I'm saying? You can never ever take anything away from what he's done and what he's brought. Even the Queensrÿche that's with Todd De La Torre out there, he created that. And they have to keep up to his standards. And I got to say, Todd is doing phenomenal.
Oh, Todd's a great singer. Yeah, Todd's a great singer.
Yeah, I love the fact that he's not a Geoff Tate clone. He does it his way, but he does Geoff Tate justice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people seem to like him, and I think he's a great singer too. I really do. I will. And on your what you said earlier about Jeff, I mean, about him not doing as much as before. I'll say this about him though. In my opinion, he's sounded the best that he has sounded in years. I mean, the guy is a consistent monster.
Yeah.
It's just it's so insane seeing this guy work and perform day in and day out. It's especially impressive because of our touring schedule. I mean, Ray, we'll go sometimes 11 or 12 days without a day off. And our days off are sometimes travel days, but the guy's consistent, with his movements and everything like that. And, like he doesn't do like any big movements or anything like that, but like he's very dramatic and he always stays like that. It's really insane. He keeps himself extremely physically healthy. And you've heard the videos. I mean, his voice is incredible.
Yeah, man.
It's so the guy's outstanding. I mean, he is who he is for a reason.
Yeah. I love the tone in his voice. It's uncanny how you hear it. You know that's Geoff Tate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
it's his timbre that he's just super unique. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. This is a two-part question.
Okay.
What is your favorite song to perform with the band, and what is your favorite song from the band? Because it could be one that you don't play, maybe, or you play it but you enjoy this one more. Or do you have a favorite? Or
I do. And you know what? The two-parter is going to be actually the same answer. No, it's not. No, it's not. My favorite song to perform is a cover that Queensrÿche did of "Welcome to the Machine." That's my favorite song to perform. Yeah, because we did our own special arrangement of it live. And we've been doing it for a while now, and that one's really, really, really fun. That one's really fun to do. Everybody gets their chance to kind of shine and solo and stuff. It's a very Generation X kind of performance. So that one's really cool. And it always catches people off guard all the time.
Yeah, especially all the Pink Floyd fans.
Exactly.
Who there are many.
Oh yeah. And then I think that my favorite song to listen to by Queensrÿche has to be "The Mission" off of the Operation Mindcrime 1 album.
What's funny is we do so I have three bands: Sacred Warrior, which is my main band.
Yeah.
I got another band, Worldview, that we did our one album and we're working on our second. And I have a third band called Deny the Fallen.
Yeah.
We did 2 records with that band.
Yeah.
And last Immortal Fest where we actually played that song, The Mission.
Nice.
And I think I did Geoff Tate some justice,
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah. I mean, dude, anybody that can pull off like Jeff's voice and hang in there, with that register, that's
man.
Yeah.
It's ironic because my speaking voice is so deep, but so is Jeff's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I get on stage, I'm singing all the high stuff. In fact, you know who Dio is, right? Obviously.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
With
Right.
my band Worldview, we just did "Don't Talk to Strangers," a
Nice.
cover of that, and we released it on YouTube.
Oh,
And I
nice.
get so many people going, "Dude, that sounds just like Dio."
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, I write our own. I like writing our own stuff and performing on our stuff, but just like you, I like doing covers because that's songs that everybody knows and everybody enjoys them when you play them live. Of course, you guys, Queensrÿche, Jeff Tate, everything you guys play, everybody knows, so they enjoy listening to the whole show.
Nice.
You
Yeah.
know, so yeah,
That's true. That's true.
one can only wish to be there someday, right?
Man, it's a lot, man. I mean, in a good way.
Yeah,
In a good way. In a good way. It's definitely work in the sense of just, it's a grind.
Mhm.
I think you've probably heard musicians say this comparison as well all the time about how people do have a certain view of what it's
Mhm.
like to be at any of these levels.
Yeah.
But I think if you ask anybody at any level in the business, I mean, they'll say that, I mean, the traveling alone kind of takes it out of you, but it's especially when you're first starting out and you have busy schedules, sometimes you're your own tech,
Oh yeah.
sometimes, stuff like that, you don't have always access to the best food or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's always, it's a bunch of different things, it's a constant wear and tear on your body and trying to upkeep it, not just well enough, but well, so that you can keep going.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you something that you said there is something that one of the questions I was going to ask, that in between the shows, I was going to say, what do you guys do on off days? But you don't get off days quite often. But
Right.
in that, you're doing a lot of traveling. So you're going, if you played Saturday and you got Sunday off, you're driving for the Monday show. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's, I get it, man. We did it for years too. And trying to get not full blown like you guys are again, but one show a month for us is good.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where you got to stay healthy, like you said,
Mhm.
and you got to keep up your skills. Do you actually? So you don't even have to do this. Kind of answer my own question. I was going to say, do you sit there and practice on your own when you're not performing? But you're performing so much that I don't think is it really necessary or.
Well, I think that's different for everybody. For me, like, I'm always trying to work on my hands and get better and everything like that.
Yeah.
And, and I always have to warm up and make sure that my hands and feet are nice and loose
Yeah.
and strong enough to perform, because while I am exerting a lot of force during the show, it is only an hour and a half out of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, intense, but like, you asked me what I did during my time off. But because of our busy schedule, it's hard to think about days off and stuff. I kind of think of it as like increments and little sections of time off.
Mm.
So usually it's usually like playing either on the drums after sound check on my pad, or I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sleeping. Sleeping is a
Yeah.
big one for me. Sleeping and eating are a big one for me.
I bet. Hey, have you ever heard of Dirty Loops?
Yeah, I know who Dirty Loops is. Yeah.
Because you play a lot like that drummer when I saw you doing that one
Oh, yeah?
video. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
There's so many drummers that play so many different styles, but when you can play so many different styles as one person, it's a great thing,
Yeah.
But you guys writing any new music or just pretty much performing out right now, or?
Mostly performing. Yeah, we are. I mean, we are writing new music, but again, with our schedule being as busy as it is, we wouldn't even know when it would come out. We're just trying. It's usually sometime in between, but what or when, no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in a little bit amount of time that you guys get to write, is Jeff allowing you guys to write your own stuff, or is he kind of leading the way with that as well? Or so in other words, is he just writing the vocals and the melodies and the hooks and all that and letting you guys write the music, or is he taking a big part of that as well?
Kind of both. I mean, we'll usually get together as a group, the instrumentalists,
Mhm.
and we'll whip up some stuff and things that we think sound cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll present it to Jeff, and he'll try to write melodies around it, or at least this is how he's explained it to me. with like the processes and how he likes to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll give it to him, and he'll write melodies around that. If he wants us to change certain things, he will. Or sometimes he'll come into the room and he'll help us with ideas and like put his 2 cents in, stuff like that. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah. So given the fact that there's so much technology out there today, what kind of part does that take in y'all's writing?
Well, like I said, because we don't have a lot of time, usually when I'm writing drums, I'll program them first and everything like that. And then, actually, usually I'm not even sitting on a drum kit when we write. If it is, it's an electronic one or it's my laptop, So it's stuff like that. And if we're away from each other and we still want to write, then we're just all individually in our studios and on our DAWs and just sending stuff back and forth between each other. Yeah.
You have your own nice little home studio.
Yeah, a little practice area. So it's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So you're obviously off today. What's your tour schedule looking like now? You got anything else the rest of the week, or you guys next week, or?
Well, off kind of ish. This week we're in New Orleans, and we are entertaining fans and stuff. The only reason why I'm back here is because I was, speaking of actually taking care of yourself, I was actually sick these past couple of days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It sucked. So it was really, really bad. Like, it was throwing up the whole 9 yards. So these past couple of days, I've actually just kind of been in bed, just kind of resting and stuff, and actually just kind of staying away from everybody for a little bit. And then I might join them here afterwards, but I'm just now getting on the other side of it. Like, I'm actually able to start eating solid foods again.
Wow. So when you say entertaining fans, are you like meeting people in doing like little bar gigs?
No. So check this out. So Backstage Pass Travel is a little event thing that the Tates started themselves while they're not touring. So we play a lot of shows, but that's like, 7 months out of the year. The other 3 is doing this. And this is when you go on their website and you literally sign up to do different vacation, like 5-day vacation tours with Jeff Tate and some of his band and crew members. So, for instance, you could sign up to do a trip with Jeff in Venice, Italy. I think we've got that coming up here soon. And, you pay this amount of money, room and board included and stuff like that. And you you fly out to Venice, visit Venice for the 5 days, and you explore it with Jeff Tate. And you're like there, like doing a tour with him. And sometimes during these trips, on the last day, there's a show with the full band. And this is one of those trips here in New Orleans where there is a show at the House of Blues Friday night. So
that's incredible, man.
Yeah, it's a really cool experience, especially for the fans.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think I briefly saw. Did he do a cruise, or is he going to do a cruise or something?
Yeah, we just did a cruise. We did the Rock Legends cruise.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was really, really cool. Who was headlining that? I think that was Bruce Springsteen. I think that was headlining that one, and a couple other people too. But that was really, really cool. Last in Line there. Actually, speaking of Dio, Last in Line was there. So it was Vivian, Vinny, all those guys. Yeah, they're all there too. So
that's
yeah,
crazy.
It was
what
really
I
cool.
find interesting is that so many of the old guys like me that are still wanting to perform, and if they don't have their bands, they're going out and finding a bunch of young guys, and you guys are just killing it, man. To me, it's incredible to watch guys like you and the rest of the guys in your band, and just to see that you guys are playing with conviction. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're not just playing as great artists, but you're also playing with conviction. It's believable. It's like you're feeling it. Like when you used to see a Queensrÿche show, you felt that you were like, you knew you were at a Queensrÿche show. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that with you guys, and it's incredible, man, because what I love about Jeff is, you know, the Queensrÿche thing didn't work out. They split up, right? You
Right.
went one way and they went the other.
Right.
But he's still doing his thing. Queensrÿche doing his thing. And I don't even know what Scott Reckenfeld doing now. Do you know?
I have no idea. I've never met the guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Never
was
met the
wondering.
guy,
I just thought about it
Yeah.
off the cuff. But I think it's neat how you can agree to disagree, and you go your way again, we go our way, and we just
Right.
doing our thing. And I know there was a little junk or whatever, but I think it's great, man.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, last I heard, I mean, Jeff has gone along well with the other guys. Now he's got a good relationship with Todd from the times that he's met him.
Yeah.
I mean, but other than that, I really don't know anything about that stuff.
Yeah.
And, but I mean, I think, I mean, I'm very grateful that he hired, you know, guys like me and, you know, James, Jack, Omri, Dario, all the other guys in the band. And I think it's really, really cool because, you know, especially now, I mean, we're all fans of the music, me especially now and stuff, but we all come from different backgrounds, but we also have a lot of similarities in what we like.
Yep.
And especially when we kind of come together to play this music, not only do we want to do it justice, but sometimes we will, and usually half of these ideas are Jeff's ideas, but sometimes we'll even tweak stuff to make the show a little different and do it in ways that we think are going to heighten the show. So we're always all kind of calling each other out and trying to push each other and be better musicians, like both in and outside of the camp, you know, like through this, you know, so it's really, really fun. It's really, really fun.
Yeah. And it's nice because people who are used to watching Tate with Queensrÿche, they're going to be very judgmental when they watch him with you guys. And you already know that.
Yeah.
So you have to be as good, if not better. And the fact that Jeff is changing some things up, it's nice because people aren't saying, well, it's just Jeff Tate again, just Jeff Tate. You know, they're actually going, man, Bruce, my guitar player, and Tony, they went to go see you guys. And Bruce called me. He's like, dude, they were freaking awesome, man. They loved you guys. You know, I haven't had the opportunity to see you guys live, but hopefully I will soon. You know,
hopefully.
But I remember, you ready for this? Queensrÿche was playing in Wisconsin at a little bar, and it was their Queen of the Reich, the very first few shows they had ever done. Nobody even knew who Queensrÿche was, right? And I'm at the front of the stage, and the curtains were closed, and they're in the back, and we're all like, yeah, we're going to see this band Queensrÿche or whatever, you know. We're like, Queensrÿche, you know. And I heard Jeff in the back just going, whoa! And I was like, whoa.
Wow.
And he held it for so long, and I'm like, wow, man. And they came out, and I think the first song they did was Take Hold of Flame.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, I was sold. I was like, wow, man. And it's like that now, probably, with people that are seeing you guys now are going, wow, man, these guys are so good. You know, it hasn't changed. They're not saying, well, we're going to settle for the Jeff Tate band. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, are you guys just called Jeff Tate, or are you called Jeff Tate's Queensrÿche, or what are you guys, your real title, your actual title?
Yeah, usually he just goes by Jeff Tate. It's that's all I've ever known for it to be. I know for a while, I think it was Jeff Tate OMC or Jeff Tate's Operation Mindcrime. But as long as I've been in it, and from what I know, it's usually just been Jeff Tate. It's just his name. That's
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, what else do you need, right?
Yeah, dude. He's, like I said, he is who he is. He's a GOAT, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. No, that just incredible, man. But dude, is there anything you want to say to any inspiring young guys who are sitting at home watching this, going, man, I want to be in a big band. I have all these dreams and aspirations. You know, anything you want to say to them to encourage them to keep going? Or
yeah, sure. Well, like I said earlier in this podcast, I mean, yeah, physically take care of yourself is important, but you got to play. I mean, networking is a big thing, but you're going to network not only by talking to people a lot, but by playing with a bunch of people. You know what I mean? And playing with a bunch of people who are especially better than you so that you can get better as well. And so you just keep getting seen. You know, a lot of the time when I was coming up, I was always the youngest. Actually, I still am in this camp, which is really funny. Yeah, I'm still the youngest. But
hey, is it wrong?
No, yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm cool. I'll be the baby. I don't care.
Yeah. There you go.
But I was always playing with people that were older than me because I got a lot of wisdom from that. They always had so much more road wear and stuff. And I think that kind of helped me with my playing and being around that level of player,
Sure.
both
Yeah.
mentally and physically, you know, so that's there, and just being consistent with it as a result.
Yeah.
And so, and then, you know, social media helps too. I'm so trying to actually get better at that myself, and trying to find new ways to get better at that and stay more consistent. But social media, anybody is going to tell you that is just,
Yeah.
even if it's, you know, something that's not your best performance, you know, you should post it anyways, because then people over time will see your progress and be like, oh, this is really cool. Oh, this is this guy's sound. That's really, really cool. We can use
Yeah.
him for that. I'm a fan of him. So stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So listen, hang out for a minute when we get done. But
Okay.
listen, guys, for all you that are watching, this is a true testament of what hard work can do for you, whether young or old. Just coming out of Daniel's mouth, work hard, be true to yourself, and work your tool, whether it's drums, your guitars, your bass, your singing, work that instrument, and don't give up, guys, because again, this is a true testament of somebody who was sitting at home watching these bands on TV and stuff, and now is walking on the stage performing with them. Never give up on yourself. And remember, guys, thank you so much for subscribing. And it means the world to me, and I appreciate everyone who's part of this. And Daniel, man, thank you so much for being part of this, brother.
Thank you for having me, Ray. I really appreciate you having me on here.
Hey, my pleasure. Hey, like you said, this is the worst podcast, so maybe this will bring it up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, but listen,
It's amazing.
so just hang in there with me for a minute again, guys.
Cool.
Thanks again for joining me on Is It Wrong?